FIFA 22 was the first FIFA I hadn't bought in 3 years, and I don't plan on buying FIFA 23 either. This is the game that everyone seems to hate, yet somehow it still manages to make more than $1.5 billion every year. I feel that there are many people in the gaming community who don't know anything about FIFA except for the memes. They don't understand why FIFA players buy the same game every year. Whether you are someone who has never touched FIFA, or someone who plays the game religiously, or somewhere in between, let me tell you why people buy FIFA every year.
Hold on, what's Kylian up to here?
First off, hopes. Part of the reason people buy FIFA is because they get their hopes up. Most FIFA players don't play the game for an entire year, as they get bored of the game earlier than the next one comes out. If they don't play FIFA for a couple months, they might start having an itch to play FIFA again, where they forget what they disliked about FIFA in the first place. Then October rolls around and they end up buying the next game. EA releases some well-edited but pretentious new trailer every year, usually around July. They showcase some new technology with a very fancy name like Natural Collision System or Hypermotion 2. What the heck is a machine learning jockey? The problem is that even if they fix a bug or change a disliked mechanic, there is always a new one that causes headache for the FIFA players. Sometimes EA bothers to patch these, but sometimes the consumers have to wait another year. Until these issues are fixed, a certain meta, or most effective tactic available is created, which is then abused by, in my opinion, one of the most toxic gaming communities I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. So basically, on the day of the release, not much has changed and you still get the same gameplay and only transfers and kits are updated. This is where the idea that EA releases the same game every year comes from, and to be fair, it isn't a completely false statement. 2. Habits or even addiction. FIFA Ultimate Team or FUT is the online competitive game mode where you put together the best possible team you can and then still get crushed by pay-to-win players. This is the game mode that makes EA the most money, and it is also the most addicting one. There is new content released basically every day at the same time, somewhere between 6 and 8 for European countries. Sounds good, right? EA cares so much about their community that they are working on updates every single day. Wrong, they only care about money. They release SBCs, squad building challenges, where you can get a new player or a pack for your old players. The only problem is that these SBCs get over 90% dislikes all the time. This is because they are usually a ripoff and the cards you sacrifice are worth more than the new one. The logic from EA's side is basically that if you sacrifice your good cards and end up getting a bad one, you are more likely to spend money on a pack to get good cards again. To be fair, sometimes EA puts out a decent SBC, but they still get dislikes because there are some childish players who only care about the meta. And if a player doesn't have at least 95 pace, oh boy oh boy. There are also promotions every couple of weeks where they highly encourage you to spend some real money. Now obviously you are not obligated to spend money here, but I still think there's a problem with these promotions. They force you into playing the game. The thought process for why people feel pressured to play is the following. I, FIFA player, have already spent a certain amount of money on this game. If you play from the start, you pay just as much as you would for any other AAA game. Good AAA games tend to have more content than FIFA. Because I have spent money on this game, I want to have fun with it. I want to have fun with it, which I can achieve by building a good team and winning games. If I don't log in for 2 weeks, I won't be able to keep up with the other players. If I don't keep up with the other players, I will lose more games, which means I will go down in rank. If I go down in rank, I will play players below my skill level just because I have worse cards than them. I want to play players who I can compete with, so I will just log in every single day. You see, they don't just release one card of every person that plays football. No, that would be too easy. Instead, they release a new promo every week with new Team of the Week cards. There are also major promos, 1 or 2 every month. The longer the new FIFA has been out, the better these cards get. What is considered a good card at the start of the game is unusable towards the end. Although most FIFA players agree that this is something positive, I would like to disagree. Personally, my problem is that the game becomes more and more unrealistic. FIFA claims to be a football simulator, but in recent years it has become more of an arcade game. FIFA matches end with 10 plus goals regularly, and there is basically no defense compared to real football or a realistic football simulation video game like Football Manager. The quality of the team you have, how much money and or time you have spent playing the game, determines how well you will do in the game. You can't just not play the game for 2 months and then come back and do as well as you did before you left. Because if you do that, you know what happens? Lil Jimmy, who built his team using mom's credit card, will score 7 goals against you, and every time he puts one past your 90 rated goalkeeper, he will most definitely hit the longest celebration possible because he's a 10-year-old who has no homework, but more importantly, he has no friends either, so he has all the time in the world to play FIFA. But seriously, there are people who just buy thousands and thousands of FIFA points to pack something good. I am fairly sure that a certain part of the FIFA community is actually gambling addicted. There are people who spend more time building their team than actually playing with it, which is kind of insane. These microtransactions and loot boxes have made FIFA quite a reputation for people who don't know a lot about video games. Even though these news outlets are probably just reaching for something negative to say about video games, they are mostly right about loot boxes being unethically designed. Luckily, I've never spent any money on FIFA, apart from buying the base game. Actually, I don't think I have ever spent money on a video game after having bought the base game. Except for that one time when I spent like 10 euros in Clash Royale when I got to Arena 10. For me, the fun part of the game is the journey. No, not that journey. I meant the grind to get a better and better team. I would prefer if the game had promos less frequently and if it also had more thought put into it. I think it wouldn't be hard for EA to come up with a better game model than they have right now. My proposition is that you start out with bronze cards instead of gold cards. Many FIFA fans probably don't like this at first sight, but I believe that if people wouldn't have maxed out cards by December, the game could be much more enjoyable and it will also put less pressure on players to play every single day. Despite all of this, the main reason why I quit FIFA is probably Foot Champions. EA expects you to play tons of FIFA matches every weekend, Friday morning to Monday morning, which more realistically is Friday afternoon to Sunday evening. Back when I played FIFA, they expected you to play 30 games every weekend. On top of that, you also had to qualify for it. If you participated in the previous Foot Champs and got upwards of 11 wins, you were automatically qualified. But if you didn't participate or didn't get 11 wins, it meant playing even more FIFA. From my understanding, the system has now changed and they expect you to play 20 games only. But they also changed the qualification to a 2-step process, which is at least 5 games. So at the end of the day, there is barely any difference.
I don't think the system works.
Let's just do a simple calculation. If you've seen my video about the future of Red Dead, you know I like to do calculations. FIFA matches have 6-minute halves, but they tend to take 15 plus minutes because you have to find an opponent and because of the pauses. So we say that the match takes 15 minutes, which is still sort of lowballing it. If you play the 25 matches, you have spent 6 hours and a quarter.
Oh, and a quarter. Don't forget the quarter.
Of your weekend playing video games.
Shut up, Arthur.
That means at least 2 hours on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I only participated about 5 or 6 times in Weekend League when I played FIFA, but that's still a lot of time. I am glad I no longer play this game and I can finally touch some grass. To better understand why FIFA will continue to have players, we also have to look at what type of players FIFA has. Sure, I've joked about mostly kids playing the game, but there are a lot of adults who grew up with this game and find it hard to part ways with. There are people who have owned every single FIFA and just keep buying it because of the sentimental value. These people probably don't get a lot of fun out of the game, but I also understand why they decide to put money into EA's pockets every year. Old habits die hard. Also, FIFA hasn't always been this bad. The general consensus among FIFA fans is that it was somewhere around FIFA 18 that things really started going downhill. 3. It's Monopoly. Yes, I planned this entire video to make that joke.
I'm free. It's Monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shelves must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood.
This is how many people there are on the earth right now, represented by 100 stickmen. This is how many of these people watch football, and this is how many of them are considered gamers. In a market like this, FIFA has no serious competition besides eFootball, which most of you probably know as PES. When PES, or Pro Evolution Soccer, started taking some of the naming rights from the Italian football league called Serie A, I was actually happy that FIFA might start to take this game seriously. I thought they would be forced to make it better. That didn't happen though. They have now lost rights to several minor leagues and several clubs from top leagues, and it still seems like there is no effort on EA's part. And remember how I said that FIFA was competing with eFootball? I was lying. FIFA was competing with PES. A year ago, Konami decided to drop a game that looks like this. I honestly don't understand how anyone at Konami said this game was okay to release in 2021. It actually became one of the worst reviewed games on Steam with 75% negative reviews, while FIFA has mainly positive reviews. Football Manager is another popular football game, but I don't really see it competing with FIFA. FM is somewhat similar to FIFA's manager mode, but it's much more detailed than that. Football Manager is more realistic and you can actually feel like you are in charge of a football club.
I am Jose Mourinho.
It is a much more comprehensive experience. You can attend press conferences, carefully adjust the tactics or compose the staff to your likings. FM's database of players around the world is so immense and so exceptional that scouts use it to find the best players in real-life football. On the other hand, the game lacks two very important aspects for casual gamers which FIFA has to offer. First, the game doesn't have very good graphics, like at all. And second, you can only control the players with your instructions, which makes the gameplay dull at times. Although this game has a very dedicated fanbase, Football Manager has a very steep learning curve and it's not a game for everyone. Football Manager 2022 has more players on Steam than FIFA 22 at the time I am recording this video, but it still can't compete with FIFA if we take into consideration that most players play FIFA on console. Which is because the PC version has a lot of hackers. Good job on that one, EA. There are a couple of other popular or semi-popular football games like Rocket League, which I don't think there is a point in comparing to FIFA as it has an entirely different premise than the football games created by EA. FIFA's monopoly position might change in the near future though. FIFA 23 will be the last EA Sports football game created in collaboration with FIFA, the international governing body of football. This doesn't mean that EA will stop making football-related video games, but from now on it will be called EA Sports FC instead. If this were only a name change, it wouldn't make any difference. Anyhow, that is not the case. EA could end up losing many naming rights and a true competitor could emerge. EA reportedly quit the partnership because they didn't want to continue paying the $1 billion fee that FIFA had set. If we think about it logically, there aren't that many game studios that could make a highly profitable game if EA couldn't. If we look at the market capitalization of the largest game studios, we see that EA is in third place with $36.13 billion as of May 2022. I can't really imagine Activision Blizzard, Nintendo or Roblox making a football game. Making a game like FIFA only really fits the profile of one of these companies, and that would be Take-Two, or more specifically 2K Games. They are the ones who make games like NBA 2K, PGA Tour 2K and WWE 2K. If 2K started making FIFA games, it would lead to some competition, but it wouldn't benefit the fans that much. As far as I know, NBA 2K has similar issues and people think it's getting worse every year, just like FIFA. This video was made in an effort to explain why people buy FIFA every year, how EA tricks people into thinking the game will be better, how some people might continue to play FIFA because of habits or addiction, or how football fans who might not even play online don't have that many football games to choose from. But the truth is that even though I used to play FIFA, I can't give you a general answer or an inside scoop on why people buy FIFA. Every person is different. Some people might genuinely think it is a fun product worth paying for. I stopped playing FIFA because I stopped having fun with it and I realized it takes up too much time out of my day that I could spend much better elsewhere. I hope this video has given an insight to people who are not that familiar with FIFA. And if you play FIFA, please think your FIFA career through and decide if it is still worth playing. If you truly don't enjoy the game, stop giving EA your money. And more importantly, stop giving EA your precious time. We must remember that FIFA isn't the real enemy. It is microtransactions and greedy companies like EA. I feel like a lot of people who make memes about the people that spend $60 on FIFA every year play games like Apex Legends, also an EA game, where they spend much more than $60 on skins and battle passes or other predatory microtransactions. I believe that battle passes can be just as bad as FIFA's practices, since they also cause fear of missing out in the player. I hope you liked this video. Feel free to share your opinion about FIFA or the quality of this video. I'm a new channel, but I already have a few other videos you can check out, which are not FIFA related. More videos are on the way as well, so if you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, bye.